Alrighty then. Welcome everyone to another fantastic episode of Our Parents' Basement. Thank you so much for once again joining us on your Thursday evening. I am so happy to be here on another lovely Thursday night. Man, I look forward to this all the time. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully you enjoy this as much as we're about to enjoy it ourselves. I am Philip. I will be sort of hosting tonight. We have an interesting show for you tonight, so let me get through these introductions real quick. Like I said, I'm Philip, and with me are two wonderful companions. The first is Jason, but I usually call him Turf. Turf, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing excellent. I'm excited for tonight's show. Been looking forward to this all week long. I'm happy. I'm ready to get this thing going, man. It's been a good day, I guess. I don't know what else to say.
That's pain. We don't need long introductions. That's fine. Well, happy to have you along. And we also have Charles. And Charles, how are you doing this evening?
Doing all right, hanging in there, surviving school, surviving calculus.
I know my calculus. It says you plus me equals us. You remember that song?
Kind of.
Yeah, that was years ago. But a little bit of a throwback because that's what we do in Our Parents' Basement. We have a love for the nostalgia. But glad you made it. Glad you're surviving school, and glad to have both of you along. So usually when us basement dwellers get together, we mainly talk about video games. Maybe a good deal we saw, or maybe we try to convince others to try one of our favorite games, or we just talk about video game related news, that sort of thing. But tonight on Our Parents' Basement, we are going to have a new topic. And it's maybe it was the inspiration behind some video games. Maybe it was inspiration behind video games in general. Tonight, our topic is the game show. We are talking about game shows this evening on Our Parents' Basement. This idea kind of came from Turf. So Turf, let me hand the mic to you real quick and tell us what we have in store for this evening. You're muted, by the way, so we can't hear you. Now try again.
I was really enthusiastic about that, and then I was muted because I had to cough. So let me tell you about what we have for everyone tonight. Tonight, on Our Parents' Basement, we're going to bring to you the loveliest, the most wonderful game shows in all the world. Throughout history, mankind has just has gobbled. Throughout history, it's only been going on for like 50 years. But still, the history of television. Man enjoyed watching another man in a game, in a game of chance, a game of knowledge, a battle of wits, if you will. Today, on Our Parents' Basement, we're going to talk about the game show. What is it? Why do people love to watch other people play games? I don't know. Ask Twitch. It's huge.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. That cheesy voice has got to stop. I don't know.
It was your game show voice.
Come on down.
Host voice. Yeah.
So, anyways, there's been a lot of game shows throughout history, and like you said, they've been inspiration for a lot of video games. There's at least 4 Jeopardy games on the NES alone, and that's just Jeopardy.
Yeah, didn't know there were so many Jeopardy games. Damn.
Huh.
So, what are some of y'all's favorites? Some, maybe not favorites, but what's some that you remember from? Let's start with like classic ones. Maybe not right now. Maybe not. Just some of the classic game shows that you remember.
More like old school, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that laid the groundwork. Everybody. I mean, I guess the number one, the big one that comes to people's mind are the quiz type games like Jeopardy. We even played Jeopardy on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like synonymous with a quiz style game.
That's a good one. Yeah, I remember watching Jeopardy a lot growing up as a kid, and it was on either right before it or right after it. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, that was a big one. It wasn't a quiz game. It was maybe you just had to solve a puzzle with words, or with letters.
No joke. To this day, my mom watches Wheel of Fortune every day.
Oh, it's still on the air?
Yeah. Every day at 5:30 on our local ABC affiliate, KAIT, out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Wheel of Fortune comes on, and she watches it every day, and she's very, very good at it. But I guess after you watched it for 30, 40 years, whatever she's watched it, you would get good at it. So And if you don't know what Wheel of Fortune is, it's the one with Vanna White and the da 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 da, and you pick a letter. I'd like to buy an E, and then you solve the puzzle.
Yeah, the music is great. Vanna White, she was the ish back in the day. Does she still do the letters, or is that
She's still a
She's
smoke
still there.
show.
still doing it? Huh?
It's not with touchscreen. She doesn't turn around anymore. Like
She's like goes up there and points to it, like ta-da.
Yeah, I like the turning letters. I was, as a kid, you're fascinated by like, where are those? How does she do that? How is she able to make these white squares turn into letters to solve a puzzle? So
I had a Wheel of Fortune game for my first computer. It's like a DOS-based Wheel of Fortune.
Was it the one where Vanna White had red hair or like pink hair?
I think so.
And everything was either green or
It's green, pretty much. Yeah.
Everything was green and red.
Yep.
And there was a green, red, yellow, and blue, I believe.
Yes.
Or probably cyan.
I think it was wasn't VGA. It was, I think, XGA graphics.
It was something. It was a DOS base. Yeah, I had an IBM 256. That's 256K for all you people. Not 256 meg, not 256K.
toaster.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'd be a doorstop now.
Love it.
But yeah, I had a handful of games for it, and that was one of them that I played a lot. Was Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune just seems to especially back in Nintendo days, it was everywhere. I mean, there was a Nintendo game.
There was
I think there were some board games. 4 Nintendo games.
3 or 4.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That host Pat Sajak, he must be sitting very pretty right now.
Yeah, he's still doing it too.
And he's still doing it. Yeah,
years old, and I've been doing this since whenever. Yeah, he
has the same voice too. Same voice, same hair. So if he's still doing it, he must sound the same and look the same. I mean,
he's,
Botox, but
college dropout.
Really?
Columbia College. He was a dropout of Columbia College here in Chicago. He dropped out of Columbia College and go on a Wheel of Fortune.
Well,
see what dropping out of college gets you, kids.
Charles, did you get a nose ring?
No.
Okay, you got schmutz. Anyways, so we have Wheel of Fortune, we have Jeopardy, and the other one that I think of you still have it.
It's a glare off his glasses.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, do you guys ever remember watching on Nickelodeon Family Double Dare?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. See, now that show, I watched it. I don't know why. I was always disgusted by it because I'm a clean freak, or maybe it's because I thought they were wasting too much food with all that whipped topping. But I was like, this show is gross, So that was not one of my favorite game shows, but I still watched it.
I wanted to be on Double Dare.
I'm not surprised.
Who didn't?
Oh, everybody did.
I didn't.
I'll tell you what. Going back to the classic game shows and stuff, some of them are still around, like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and Family Feud. Who didn't love Richard Dawson going up and kissing everybody back in the day?
Oh, he didn't just he groped.
Well, and that's okay. He was drunk. So
yeah, it was the 70s?
And he was British.
It was the 60s and 70s. Yeah, you could be drunk and
and British and get away with shit.
Yeah, different
time.
He
wasn't British, was he?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't British. He didn't have a British accent.
Yeah, the first host.
Yeah, the guy that kissed everybody.
Yeah, he wasn't British, was he?
No,
I thought he was a Brit.
No, he was drunk.
He was born in Gosport, United Kingdom.
He did not have a British accent though.
Then, because he was also on Match Game, which is another classic.
I love Match Game. That was the dude with the long microphone that was Match Game.
No, he wasn't the host. The host of Family Feud was a contestant, or was a panelist.
Oh, okay. That's another classic one.
Yeah.
They going on still. They brought it back. Alec Baldwin's the host now.
Now,
and it's hilarious.
We'll talk about remakes. In the show, but so put a pin in that. Let's get to that in a second.
What about here's one maybe you liked me. It was like an 80s staple. I don't think it came out. I think it was an 80s deal because there's a big every decade had their own,
Yeah.
Hollywood Squares. How awesome was Hollywood Squares? Have a bunch of mediocre, celebrities up on a panel and they could X gets the spot.
How does it work? I don't think I've seen that one.
You've never seen Hollywood Squares?
I'm telling you, I am a game show dunce.
Baby Jesus. All right. So what you do, the host, was it Chuck Woolery? Was he the host?
I think he was at one point.
It was at one point. Okay. So he would ask okay, your contestants would be down here next to Chuck.
Okay.
And they would say, well, I'll take Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi was like the center square for a while.
Oh.
And he would ask Whoopi a question and she would answer it. And then that would be the contestant would either agree or disagree. And if, say Whoopi got it right and this person agreed, X gets the spot or O gets the block. So you played tic-tac-toe with Hollywood with questions and you won prizes and things like that. It was an excellent game. There's an NES game.
Oh, of course. So this game is going on for a while then.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not around anymore. I think it had a little resurgence a little while ago, but
yeah, it was on and off since the 60s.
Oh, did it start in the 60s? Really?
Yeah, it started. Let's see, 66 to 81. Peter Marshall was the presenter, and John Bauman was 83 to 84. John Davidson, 86 to 89, and Tom Bergeron from 98.
Tom Bergeron. It wasn't Chuck Woolery.
98 to 2004.
No, that wouldn't have been who I was thinking. I don't know who I was thinking of. I'm dumb. So that was a fun one though. I really enjoyed Hollywood Squares. And then you get up, I guess go further back. There was one that I'm going really fast because I got a big list. Got a huge list of that was very, very different. Something that's different from it was I can name that tune in 3 notes.
Oh yeah, name that tune.
Those people were incredible. Like the contestants on it. Like who can name a song in 3 notes? Like dun dun
3
dun.
notes? That's it?
Yeah.
Well, they would bid at the end of the game. They're like, I can name that tune in 8 notes. I can name that tune I can do it in 5. Well, I can do it in 3, and they'll go name that tune. And so then they would play like 3 notes on the piano, and they'd have to guess it. Those people were like music wizards. That's the only way to explain it.
That's cool. I'm just wondering, like, so they first kind of like ante up. Like I go with 5 notes. Oh yeah, well I go with 4 notes, and then
they would bid each other down, and then somebody would like, no, bruh, name that tune.
Okay, and then someone will play it, and they would try to guess it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's up.
I would love to try that one. I don't know. I like whenever listen to the radio or whatever, and there's songs that you just know. I'm like, oh, I know what the song is. Like as soon as it starts. So I love games like that.
Let's see. What else might be on the list?
I got another good one.
What? Shoot it.
Remember the game Concentration or Classic Concentration?
Love it.
Presented by Alex Trebek back in the 80s.
Was that Alex Trebek?
I think he was a host for a short time back in the 80s.
Huh. Did not know that.
So what's
learning something new here in our parents' basement.
It's another one I'm not sure of. So.
All right. You know those what do they call them? Phonograms? Well, like the pitchers make a phrase. You know, isn't that what they're called?
Something like that. I don't remember.
Anyways, you would like match. I'll take square 1 and 14, and like you tried to match the two. It'd be like a TV and you had to match the other TV or a sofa or a meat coat.
Like a game of memory.
Yeah, it's like a game of memory. And then, but when you matched them and you got the prize over in your little corner, then you would try to guess the puzzle in the back. There was a phonogram, be like an eye and heart, our parents' basement, so like, so I mean, it would be something like that, or I don't know, I can't even think of anything right now, but it would be something that you had to sound it out to make a word or make a phrase, and then if you got that, you got all the prizes, and then you got to go on to the bonus round and try to win a car.
Cool. Sounds fun, man. These all sound fun.
They are fun. Games are cool, dude.
Another one.
Go ahead.
What's that?
I was gonna say another one I loved watching as a kid was Press Your Luck.
Oh man, I didn't even put that on my list, and that's one of my favorites.
Big bucks, no whammies. Stop.
Big money, no whammy. Stop.
Wait, what? That's where that came from? Was that show?
Yo, you've never seen? Have you seen Press Your Luck with the whammies?
And
nope.
There's a big
I am game show deprived.
Let me break down Press Your Luck. So there'd be you would answer questions.
Yeah.
Try to gain spins. You would ring in, and if you rang in first, you got 3 spins, and if you just got the answer, then they would ask both people, and you ring in, you get the answer right, and then the dude does multiple choice, and you get one spin. Then you go to the whammy board, the big board, with the lights going all around it, and yeah, exactly. And the dude would go like big money, big money, big money, no whammy, stop, and then he would get a prize. I'm gonna press my luck. I'm gonna keep going. Beep, 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 beep. No whammy, no whammy. Stop. Oh, whammy! And the whammy would come out and do a little animation.
This sounds like every game show ever, but I've never seen it.
But
I cannot believe you've never seen Pressure Luck.
No,
That
like
was the worst description of it in the history of mankind.
the big money, big money. Like I think of Wheel of Fortune, they spin, come on, big money, big. Then they get the bankrupt code, and it goes beep, beep,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. But yeah. So.
But for Pressure Luck, there was a big controversy after the first couple of seasons. There's this one guy who got on the show, and he had a VCR, so he recorded it, all the shows. He noticed a pattern in the boards. So they all had the same pattern every time. So he knew when to push the button.
Yeah, he gamed the system and made they really couldn't. He didn't really cheat because it went against the rules.
Yeah,
Right.
He kind of gamed them and made a fortune.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
so these are all the older school shows, right? Like
That would have been in the 80s.
yeah.
80s. Okay.
It also did come back too.
Yeah, it came back in the 2000s, like on the Game Show Network, I think.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the Game Show Network. Let's see. I'll tell you one that came, there was like a resurgence, I guess, in the 2000s when Game Show Network, I guess, got big. And there was a whole bunch of game shows. Like people said they were dead, but then Millionaire hit. Like, who wants to be a millionaire?
God. That was huge.
Enormous.
Yeah.
That was, it got to be like a cultural phenomenon. I mean, people.
It really did.
I even got myself, I was in college, and I'm like, dude, I got to be home on Tuesday because, Millionaire.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever try to get on it?
No, I didn't. I did the deal online.
Mm-hmm.
You could do a survey thing online, and it was hard. And I know a lot of trivia, like just a lot of useless stuff, and it was hard.
Yeah.
But that was in the early 2000s or whatever. So I don't know how hard it is to get on there now. I think they do it in Vegas now.
It's syndicated now, so they do.
Yeah.
It's probably so much easier to get on now.
Yeah, I guess they'd have somebody on there every day.
Cool.
But
there was Who Wants to Be around the same time. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And then maybe like a year later came The Weakest Link.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
that was started in Britain, in the UK.
That bitch was cold. She was a cold-hearted bitch, and I loved her. I was like, I want to be friends with her so bad.
And then I guess shortly thereafter, Howie Mandel was fist bumping people on Deal or No Deal, which I didn't really love.
I still
big.
don't get the premise of that show.
It was you picked a box, and maybe your box had $1 million in it, but the banker would give you an offer or whatever, and then you'd pick some more, and you had to get the low numbers, Yeah. So your value, like the chances of you getting $1 million would go up. It was okay. It just wasn't. I don't know. There was tension, but it was kind of artificial tension. It was like, well, let's see what's in the box right after this.
I hate that.
It got really annoying.
And I think that show gave Howie Mandel a resurgence in his career.
Gave us hope for
Wasn't
another
he Bobby's World.
Yeah, he did a voice for Bob, but he was a stand-up comedian. Have you ever looked at his old stand-up comedy back in when he's younger? He was, what the fuck was he smoking back then? He was crazy.
Yeah, he was big on like putting the rubber glove on his head and blowing it up.
Oh, he's one of those comics.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he's one of those guys. That was his act, pretty much.
Jeez. All I remember is that in Bobby's World, the dad had Howie Mandel's hairstyle at the time, which was awful. Such a bad hairstyle. So when he shaved his head, I was like, thank you. God, finally. Anyway.
He just went bald before bald got him. That happens to the best of us, man.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. What else happened in the 2000s? Like I said, there was a Game Show Network and that big resurgence that brought a lot of it back.
Yeah.
I really don't. I can't remember. Drawing a blank. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The Jeff Foxworthy excellent show. Wasn't it Jeff Fox? Yeah, it was Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah. They weren't like genius kids, were they? They were just fifth graders.
They're fifth graders.
They were just average
Yeah.
fifth graders, and it was fun because I knew most of the questions because apparently I am smarter than a fifth grader.
I bet it made the adults feel real stupid when they didn't get the answers right.
Well, I mean, it got to a point where like the kids wouldn't know, but
They're kids.
Yeah, they were kids. They were fifth graders. What do you expect? These are 10, 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds.
When I was a kid, there was one show out of all the others that I wanted to be on. Do you guys remember? I think it's called, what was it, Nick Arcade?
Yes.
Oh God. So what I'm thinking of.
Man, there was a whole
Like the virtual reality final challenge and stuff. Like that whole thing. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, where you do the final challenge and you're like inside the video game.
Yes. And I thought to myself, why aren't they punching these enemies? Just punch them. You'll win if you punch them. And I always saw them like touching outwards. I'm like, no, to the right. Go the other way. Yeah. And they would also
watch the blue screen while they're doing it,
Yep, that's it. And then there were like they would play arcade cabinets to rack up points, and oftentimes they would have Sonic the Hedgehog as one of them. And whenever they played Sonic, they did so bad. I just got so frustrated. Like angry young me shouting at a TV screen, "Come on!" So that was the one show I knew I could have excelled if I was on that show.
God, what other kids' game shows were there? I'm trying to remember.
And there was a whole slew of them. And the king of all the kids' game shows was Nickelodeon.
Oh, yeah.
They would just pump those things out. And obviously, the most well-known we've already talked about was Double Dare.
Double Dare, yeah.
Mark Summers on Double Dare. Dude was I don't know. He was OCD, clean freak. Yeah. But for some reason, it had to be hell for him.
Yeah.
Because he was like debilitatingly.
Get set. Go.
I loved it. Like the questions were always very, very simple to me, even when I was a kid. Like, how do you not know that? But anyways, then you would dare physical challenge.
Physical challenge.
The physical challenge always looked like it was something simple, but that would have been one of those deals like it would have been impossible. You think it's easy to drop a clothespin into a jar or to a glass from like chest high. That's hard.
Well, I just remember them like having hazardous conditions that you had to climb up this ladder that's filled with pie crust, slide down this whipped cream slide, and then jump on this handrail that's full of strawberry topping. And that
was the obstacle course. That was like the big.
Was that what it was?
That was the big payoff at the end. But at the physical challenges, you'd have to like roll an egg across the floor with your nose. It was like party games.
They were like real physical. Like they were. Yeah.
At the time, I'm thinking that looks so easy. I could do that. But as an adult, you look at it like I've tried some of these things. That's hard. You got to take the
board. Did he host Guts as well?
No, that was Mike O'Malley.
That dude. Good Lord.
Do you have it? Do you have it?
Now
that show looked difficult. I don't care what anyone says.
And
Guts was fueled by Doritos and Mountain Dew. It was too extreme.
Yep. Guts was Wild and Crazy Kid. That was another physically demanding game show.
Nickelodeon. I thought I could do it.
I could see both you two on that one. Yeah. Definitely.
Omar Gooding didn't make it as big as his relative Cuba Gooding Jr.
Is that Cuba's cousin?
I think so. Yeah, they're cousins.
Okay. Awesome. Johnny
Jeffcoat and Annette Chavez.
Yes.
Why I remember
that you know that.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah, very nice, Charles. Very nice.
Then there was like the generic Double Dare that came on Fox called Funhouse.
Oh God, I remember that Funhouse.
It was all right. It wasn't. It's got an NES game that's actually. Write this down. It's actually kind of good.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It looks like trash, but it's really not bad.
Bringing it back to games, I love it. And there's one more Nickelodeon that we tuned in, kind of like you and Double Dare, or I'm sorry, you and Millionaire Turf. We would plop on the couch to watch Figure It Out with Summer Sanders.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, so it had Summer Sanders and all the Nick stars like
Lori Beth Denver, Danny Tamborelli from Pete and Pete. Some of the folks from like Amanda Bynes before she became crazy crack whore. Love you, girl. Just get better, please.
Oh yeah, Lori Beth Denver and Danny Timber, they're the two that are always there. The other 2 or 3 always changed.
Yep. There was Irene Ung from the Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, like all these old has-been Nickelodeon stars, and then a kid would pop up and say, "My name is such and such from blah blah blah. I am a yodeler, or my hidden talent is I can do this, or I'm the champion of walking on stilts." It was the most ridiculous things that these little kids can do, and some of them were quite impressive. Some of them were stupid as hell.
And they had these secret actions.
Yeah,
the caster, they would get slimed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the panelists would always be wearing like those orange hazmat jumpsuits because there was like shit would fall on them, like slimes and food, and I remember one time coffee grounds fell on them, which was disgusting.
Like used coffee grounds?
What was that?
Was it like new Folgers, or was it used?
Like new coffee, like freshly ground, and I'm sure afterwards they smelled like something awful. So yeah, that was Figure It Out. It was a fun show.
I tell you, okay, years ago. Let's rewind back to about 1990-ish.
Ooh,
maybe it'd have been about 90, maybe summer of 92, 91, 92. A young Jason takes a trip with his family to Orlando, Florida. Now, at Orlando, Florida, there was Universal Studios, and at Universal Studios was Nickelodeon Studios.
Was is a big keyword. Now.
It's the building's still there,
but it's
just there's not much there to see.
Bless it.
Anyways, we went and we're like, well, at Universal Studios they used to actually film the Nickelodeon shows. I got to be at a filming. I wasn't actually part of the show of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I say a taping, we saw the first segment of about 4 shows. We were there like when they did the very first obstacle or whatever, very first game with the purple cheetahs and the orange iguanas and purple parrots, excuse me.
Yes.
But
just kidding.
The red jaguars. But we got to see that, and I was about 5th, 6th grade at the time, so I'm right the same age as the contestants show, and I'm watching it going, you guys are unathletic as hell. I can do this. I would have loved it. I wish they would have let me try to do it because I knew for a fact I could have crossed it. Because I distinctly remember this when they had a rope overhead and like pads underneath them that would barely were giving way, like lily pad looking things.
Mm-hmm.
And all they had to do is cross it. I'm like, man, just do it. Just all you got to do is go. The longer you stand on one thing, the more that thing's going to flop and your arms are going to get tired. Just go.
Yep.
And anyways, I was watching that and I'm thinking, man, I need to do this, but I never got a chance. I just had to sit up there and watch. Me, my cousin, my mom and dad, my sister, and my aunt and uncle were sitting in the live studio audience. Actually, and we actually saw us on TV. That was kind of cool. I got to see myself on Nickelodeon.
Nice.
That's neat.
Yeah, really neat. I wish I could find which episode it was so I could just have like a still of, 12-year-old me going, ah!
Baby turf. I would love to see that.
Here's the thing about Legends of the Hidden Temple. The kids are dumb. They couldn't put together the Silver Monkey. 3 parts. It only goes together one way.
Man, let me tell you what.
About now. Yep.
I'm going to say it was the pressure. The lights and all that. Like, you think you could have done it, but then the pressure got you, man. You choked. You only had 1 shot. With a little practice, you could have done it, but just 1 shot.
Yeah. I wonder if any of those kids, like these are young kids, not just with Hidden Temple, but Guts and Double Dare and Nick Arcade. Like, I wonder if they look back and regret any of it. Like, because if they lost. If they won, hell yeah. But if they lost, like, man.
You think he's like sitting in his mom's basement, scratching his junk, going, I could have been somebody, man. If I could just climb that Astro Crag, could have done it.
No, that Astro Crag was nasty. I don't know how anyone can climb that thing.
I was looking at her, thinking she's hot, and I got distracted.
There's another one. I don't know. Were either one of you guys PBS watchers?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a great game show, a great one. Like PBS, it's PBS, whatever. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
San Diego. Yes. With the best theme song.
That was legit, was it not?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Rockapella.
Do it, Rockapella.
That was
I always
that was
felt
a
bad
good
again though when like it's a final round. They had to put those giant siren lights on where Carmen Sandiego was. Sometimes they got Africa. Like no one that age knows the countries of Africa. Sometimes though they got the United States. I'm like, okay, yes, do not mess this up. And they would still mess it up. And
if you would give me a map of Africa now, I would get like Egypt.
It's changed since we were kids. Countries have broken up. They've changed names.
Yeah, I could tell you where Madagascar is only because it's a little island.
South Africa. That's easy to find.
It's because in the south.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast is, I don't know. That's
like seriously, could you find like Africa? There's no way. Like Southeast Asia, could you identify the countries?
Nope.
The Middle East?
Some of them.
Some of them, yeah. You could some of them, but
Europe because it has Italy, which is shaped like a boot, and that's it.
I could do Europe. I think I could do Europe. I could do the U.S. South America, kind of.
South America, I can actually do. I can do.
How about
South
Canada?
America.
For our Canadian viewers out there, we could do Canada. I could do Canada.
That show was great. It was, you had the round was the trivia, and then you had the finalists. They had to find the loot, the warrant, and the crook in that order. And then they had the final round, and they had to choose. If they won, they got to choose anywhere they can go in. I think it wasn't the world. It was only like in the.
It was like the lower 48.
Yeah. So I mean, they would go to Florida or
Go
Mexico
to New Jersey.
Yeah.
One person put like Wyoming. I'm like, what? Okay, go ahead.
Why?
Why? Oming.
But think about Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? The chief, she was in the movie The Warriors. As
like come out and play that.
Yeah, she was at the DJ.
Oh, never seen it.
Yeah.
The chief, she's in a bunch of stuff, man. She's like in she was in Orange Is the New Black.
She was V.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Forgot about that. Oh, she was a bitch in that show too.
She's got that voice that one of those voices that stand out.
I love her voice. She was still a bitch in that show, man. Her character. She played that. She sold me on that shit.
She was in.
You guys, we are.
Oh, go ahead.
Of a certain age now. Is there any current game shows that you just love to watch and tune into?
I still watch The Price is Right every time I'm off work.
Yes,
absolutely.
Same here.
I love it. I say that even though I don't have cable, but
they just canceled one I liked that was on.
What's that?
Celebrity Name Game.
Never seen it.
Never heard of that one.
It's Craig Ferguson was hosting it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they canceled it.
Oh no! Why?
I don't know.
You just got to see bad news broken to someone live on the internet.
Yeah, that's what we did at OPB.
It was
there's one. Go ahead, Charles.
I say watching that one episode was so funny. Craig Ferguson, the host, he was one of the clues, and the person with the answer, and the clue giver pointed to Craig Ferguson. It's like him, and the person on this who was supposed to answer like I don't know. And Craig Ferguson was like, really.
Wow.
But
yeah,
I see one that I like that's on now.
Yeah,
is Snoop Dogg has his own game show.
Oh yeah,
it's called Joker's Wild, which is it's a revamping of an old one where you get to you spin the wheel or it's like a roulette thing,
sure.
And the categories will come up on the deal. But now they're all like Snoop Dogg references, and like you get to ask a bong questions. Yeah, it's like the Magic 8 bong.
I love
I don't think
that.
that's really what it's called, but that's kind of what
that's funny. I like that.
The only problem with it is like Snoop is a natural host, and I think he's funny.
Oh
but
yeah.
His like Vanna White sidekick lady, it's this very attractive young Asian lady that's dumb as a sack of hammers. Oh yeah, poor thing. She tries to be like ghetto and whatnot, and she's not at all. She's whiter than I am.
Oh damn!
Wow.
Oh yeah, she's
tasty.
like clear. She's so white.
Fucking Casper.
That poor girl. She tries to make like Snoop Dogg references and like LBC and Compton references and like, no, stop. Just stop. Just be cute and do your thing. But anyways, I like that one. Angie hates it, but we watch it pretty regular.
Nice, good one.
There's one that's on TV right now that I love, and I've recently discovered it because it's on Hulu. The Wall.
The Wall. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh yeah,
it's really cool. Like you'll have a man or you'll have two people, a pair.
Okay.
They're usually it's been like a man and a wife, or like there was two cousins that were there, or like two friends or whatever else. So there you got these two people that the first round balls are coming down, like picture a big Plinko board. You know what Plinko is from The Price is Right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a great big one of those, and there's a bunch of slots of money at the bottom, and it's falling down, and they have to answer a question before the balls hit. And there you go. That's the first round. So you try to rack up as much money. Then you pick which one of you is going to answer the questions and which one of you is going to decide whether to, where to put the balls and whatever else. So they split the people up. Obviously, you send the smart one out there, and then the more entertaining one stays out front. So they ask the person back there in the questions or whatever, and then the person has to decide whether they think they're going to get it right, and they put the balls wherever. Anyways, it's a really cool concept, really cool game show with a neat little twist at the end. I would definitely recommend checking out The Wall. I like Plinko is like the best part of The Price is Right. So it was my favorite game on there. So it's like constantly Plinko and trivia. So it's the best of both worlds. It's my jam. So I think I recommend The Wall to anybody that is into game shows at all.
Okay.
Oh, and
nice.
there's a new one that just came out a couple weeks ago. It's Ellen's Game of Games. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. Yeah,
I have seen it.
She is so fucking sadistic on that game. Oh my god.
I'm not surprised. I mean, she does sadistic shit on her talk show too. So I mean, she's a nice, lovely person, but she can be cruel.
There's all these. It's pretty much a game of mini games.
Okay.
And there's this one where you're on this like recliner and you're spinning around really fast, and she asks a question, so you have to run off the chair, grab a ball, and answer it first while you're dizzy.
Yeah, they're spinning them, I don't know how they don't vomit. But those guys, they're falling off stage and everything else. It's pretty funny.
Sounds dangerous.
It's worth watching.
All right.
If you're a fan of Ellen at all, it's pretty funny, and it's goofy, and like instead of blindfolding people, they put like glasses on them with like crazy eyes, like big cartoon eyes.
She's got them like on these ropes, and they get flung up into the rafters.
See, that sounds fun. Whee! Oh, that reminds me of another show. You just Dog Eat Dog.
I liked that show.
Yeah, I love that. That hostess.
We missed a whole like slew of shows like Survivor and things like that. The Real World and all those, or not Real World, Road Rules.
Oh, Road Rules. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dude. Talking about Road Rules, Singled Out. Remember that show? MTV Singled Out.
Mm-mm.
Jenny McCarthy was one of the.
I remember that, but I don't remember the show.
Me neither. I never watched it.
That dating show.
The reason I thought of Dog Eat Dog was because you said flung into the audience, and in Dog Eat Dog, the tasks that they had to do were very demanding, and but they still look like fun. So that's where that came from. But the only show right now that I recently watched that I enjoyed was based off the music app Shazam, hosted by
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, thank you. Kind of like, I guess it's kind of like Name That Tune. They played the song, and you had to answer the question. Hey, what song is this? Before Shazam figures it out. And when we watch it, I usually get them right, not to honk my own horn instead of toot, because toot's gross. I think that that if there's ever a game show to be on now in my older, wiser age, it'd be that one. I would love to.
Man, that's I don't know.
It'd be hard, but yeah.
There's like some good ones out there right now. Like Cash Cab. I like Cash Cab, where they pick random people up and then start asking them questions. That's neat.
Yeah.
What are some of y'all's all-time favorites? Just go around the table. Like, if you had to pick one, what would be your all-time favorite?
All-time? Oh, geez. That's a tough one, Tur. Well, you start because I don't.
I'm gonna say The Price is Right. I can't get enough of Bob Barker. He's the man. I liked America's Favorite Hour of Fun and Prizes.
What about? Do you like the new host now, Drew Carey?
Drew Carey? Oh yeah, I don't mind him. He's no Bob Barker, but he's not bad.
He got
Does he still
better.
have the long microphone?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
he still rocks the long microphone. I want to find one of those. I would love to do this show with the long pencil microphone.
Yes.
But yeah, Drew Carey, when he first took over, he's a little meh, but he grew into the part.
Oh, good.
But yeah,
he's from Cleveland, and he's got to represent Cleveland. So
Drew Carey, Bone Thugs,
Bone Thugs.
Drew Carey,
that group.
Former Marine.
Didn't know that. Right. But let me think here. Favorite game show? Well, I guess back in the day it would be Jeopardy, but now I'm gonna still say Jeopardy. Actually, I love Shazam. I love Wheel of Fortune. I love some of the other ones I've seen, but I like challenging myself and learning new things. And Jeopardy is full of just new stuff to learn, like every day.
Tell you what, you need to scratch that and just call it Idiot Jeopardy is your favorite.
Yes.
Speaking of which, preview of coming attractions.
March.
You're next up.
What we say, March 1st?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
4 weeks from today will be another round of Idiot Jeopardy.
And this guy, I'm pointing to myself for those that are listening audio only, will be the idiot. So yeah, oh geez, I'm scared. I'm nervous and scared.
You should.
What about you, Charles? What's one of your favorites?
I like. Shit, what is it? Goddamn, Price is Right. I don't know.
Yeah, good one.
That's a good one. That's a classic, man.
Let's Make a Deal. Now that it's back.
Good old Monty Hall.
Wayne Brady's doing it now. From Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Does he choke a bitch?
Wait, what?
I haven't seen him choke a bitch yet.
It was on Chappelle's show. You remember? You remember when Wayne Brady blew up about the same time as Chappelle's show, like in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
he was on. It seemed like he was everywhere, but he had like that wholesome, funny guy type.
Yeah,
image. Well, he was on Chappelle's show and like a skit, and he was riding around. Him and Dave Chappelle are riding. He said, "Hey, pull over right here," and he starts talking to this hooker, and he's like, "Bitch, you better have my money." And, is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch? Which, it being Wayne Brady, it was hilarious. So,
oh god, so what are other my favorite game shows? Let's Make a Deal. I like
Card Sharks. Blockbusters.
Oh, as a kid, I used to like watching Shop Till You Drop.
Oh, absolutely.
That sounds like a fun show. I'd be up. If it's what I'm thinking it is?
Shop Till You Drop and Supermarket Sweep.
They came on back to back.
Yes, I watched those instead of doing homework.
They used to come
on the
USA.
Lifetime Television Network. They're on Lifetime and USA, I think.
Oh, are they?
I remember. I don't know. This is going back.
They came on USA back like with days that I would miss school, and that was I thought it was awesome.
Then we saw the ads for the TV show Silk Stockings. Like, ooh, I should watch that, but my parents don't let me.
Do they have like a video game Shop Till You Drop? Because I'd be down for that.
No, they had electronics. There was like a jewelry store and all that. So you had to grab all these boxes and collect, X amount of dollars of stuff. And then if you did that, you won a trip somewhere.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah, I like Supermarket Sweep. You had to go find $4.73, and the person that would get closest to that or whatever was the winner or something like that. It was
without going over.
Yeah, without going over. It was neat.
I also have another really ridiculous, again, Nickelodeon game show. It's called You're On. Have you heard of that one?
It sounds filthy.
I don't remember that one.
It involved water sports.
They have two kids are in like a park or a mall or a what?
Huh?
And they go up to strangers, giggity, and they have to make them do these ridiculous tasks. If they get all three, they get a bunch of money. But the thing is, like, one of the kids is always wearing like a helmet with the camera lodged inside, so they film the whole thing, and yeah, it was a hot mess. I think it only lasted for like one season.
Yeah, I missed that one. I had a long spell where I didn't have Nickelodeon or anything, so yeah, I missed all that.
Yeah,
Oh, another one of my favorite game. I don't know these kinds of games. Was watching Chopped on
Chopped.
Food Network.
I think those reality shows or
Something like reality show.
I don't know. This competition. I don't know.
it is a competition. So I don't know. That's kind of a gray area. That's like its own different beast.
Yeah, we'll talk reality television another episode. I think you mentioned Road Rules, and now this one. I'm like, yeah, they really count. There's no buzzers, and there's no crazy announcers, and
There's no
funny
fabulous
hosts.
cash prizes.
Yeah, cash prize. Like, yeah, that whole thing.
All right. So we're kind of getting close to the end. I want to take a second and I want to say say we had a Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
You know, we got 4 faces on the side of a mountain of game show hosts. Who do you think would be there?
Ooh, the top game show host. Bob Barker, definitely.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek, no doubt.
That was my choice too. So I definitely say Trebek.
Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak.
So that's 3.
Those 3. Oh God. Monty Hall, Gene Rayburn.
Not Howie Mandel. Not his bald ass. No.
Gene Rayburn.
Gene Rayburn's a good one.
Who's that again?
Gene Rayburn. Yeah.
Match Game. Oh yeah, Match Game dude.
Monty Hall. One of
Any
those.
of the Family Feud guys? The guys from Family Feud. Any of those ones or?
I was thinking Richard Dawson, but I already.
How about Ray Combs? Those two. They were both good.
Ray Combs was really good, but he wasn't drunk enough and he killed himself. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he killed himself, and he was from Memphis.
Well, yeah, damn.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah,
we just brought the show way down. That's okay though. So we have Trebek, we have Barker, we have Sajak. We need one more.
Oh God!
I'll let you guys decide because I'm glad with Trebek on there.
I'm gonna narrow it down for you, Charles. I'm gonna say either Richard Dawson or Monty Hall.
Oh God! Flip a coin.
Do you have a coin?
Right here.
Oh, he sure does. Okay. Call
Heads.
it.
Heads will be Monty Hall. Tails will be
Richard Dawson. All right, let's do it.
Got it. And it is Tails.
Richard Dawson, the kissing fool. He kissed everybody. It was awesome, and he was drunk.
But yeah.
Hear that, Milton Bradley? Make this happen. Make this make this game happen for us to enjoy. Or something.
But Family Feud. There's already a Family Feud video game.
There's one on the NES.
Yeah, there's one on the Sega
and there's
Genesis.
Concentration on the NES.
Yes.
And remote control.
Is the NES the console with the most game show games?
Probably not. It's probably Super Nintendo, but
okay.
I forgot about remote control. God.
I just know the NES library really well.
Well, I'm very impressed by that.
Why do you know the NES library? Do you have every NES game?
Yes.
Well, yes, actually he does.
Since you mention it.
Well,
right,
my
guys,
friends.
This has been really fun. I really enjoy game shows. They're kind of like I said earlier, they're bubblegum for your brain. They're useless TV that's not going to do you any good, but sure is fun. Mm-hmm. And it tastes good too.
And you yell at the TV a lot during those
shows. You get to be part of it. You know, it's especially like these quiz games, you get to play along. So it's fun. But
that's the thing about game shows. Like, always remember, it's so much easier to be always right on a game show when you're actually in it. I mean, you know the answer to all. You know the answer to it. You can do that physical challenge. You can do anything when you're not on the game show. But once you get in there, I'm sure it's a different story. But who knows? Who knows? At any rate, we are getting close to the hour mark, so I'm going to give the floor to Turf. And Turf, are you going to tell us where, but I lost my train of thought. So Turf, take it away.
Right.
What I'm saying.
Episode number 87 of Our Parents' Basement. So that means there's 86 episodes right over there that you can check out of Our Parents' Basement. That's on the YouTube. If you like the video, if you like the audio only version, you can download us anywhere you can download podcast on your mobile device. That's iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, all kinds of places. It's just crazy how much of us is out there. So download us, take us with you. Now, what we really like to hear from y'all, we like to interact with you. We like to hear from you on Twitter at OPB Podcast, Facebook.com/OPB Podcast. Be sure to like that. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. You don't want to ever miss an episode or some stupid stuff we might say. We're on Instagram at OPB Podcast, and send me an email, opbpodcast@gmail.com. So there you go. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of us, plenty of ways to check out what we're doing. Love hearing from you guys. Thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you for watching. And anybody else got anything?
I got nothing, actually.
Well, in that case,
I got nothing unless you want to see what's behind door number 3.